Hi, I'm with Anna Shvets, which is a speaker at MTL Connect 2024. She comes from the University of Nottingham, and you, right? I'm talking to the camera, I'm talking to you. You gave a panel about generative AI and the middle of the artistic, the cooperation, right?
Yes.
So, how are you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing very well. Thank you very much.
Well,
I was very glad actually to present this talk to people, and yeah, I think it went quite good.
yeah,
So I'm
and
quite content with that.
you in your panel you were talking about the co-creation between artists and AI in real time.
Yes.
How do you see it going, like as a practice of art forward, especially in music, right?
Special music, exactly. Yes, my domain of specialization. So basically, in my presentation, I showed the examples of this real-time generation in visual as well, because the event is actually for artists in visual domain as well. So we are in the École de Design, the School of Design, right? So, but yeah, basically in the in music, the idea of real-time creation with the algorithm is not new in itself, because we had previously to AI, we had the algorithmic music currents, right? So we had the IRCAM that was producing this algorithm to many actual algorithms that were allowing creators to kind of have this dialogue with the machine. We also had the programming languages, such as with the visual interface like Pure Data, MaxMSP, Open Music, that allowed actually this programming of musical experience and the use of dispatch during the real-time creation on stage. Finally, we had also the programming, specific programming languages in music, where the producers, musicians, coders were able to code music in real time, and again using the strategy that they prepared beforehand. So the real-time generation in music was before AI as well, but with the AI we have these additional possibilities, and which are based on the on this internal representation of the model. So going inside from the let's say standard generation, I give an input, it gives me an output from the trained model, like a classical usage for that. We can use the AI in a less standard versions. So we can use this trained latent space to sample similar examples in a seamless manner as we can do with the images. The same works for music as well. And we even can use the process of training as the source of creative ideas, because when the AI is not trained yet, it's still imperfect. It tries to find this, to fit to that example that we use. And this in-between process can be used creatively. So basically there were already the system that showed how we can use real-time actually training using the reinforcement learning of an AI and use it, creatively on stage as a dialogue between the AI and AI brain, artificial brain, right? Whether formed already with lattice space or in process formation during this training process, and a human creator. Like
some sort of exploration of music, right? Like you explore the experimental in between.
In between moments, exactly, yeah.
The moments.
Which are becoming, tend to become something.
As a normal artist would do, like if you go through an experimental phase, the AI does the same thing.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. And also the renewal of material, the possibility of a renewal of material is larger than with the algorithm, because within the algorithm that you determined in this algorithmic music, you could have some variations, right? But in artificial intelligence, with artificial intelligence, you can have this space of exploration which can be much more wide and open to other non-predicted ways. So it's always this surprise that is bigger, and this aspect of surprise is better presented with the AI technologies.
And how do we manage to stay creative as artists in a world where AI is used to create art, do you think it's gonna bring some sort of laziness to it, or is this something that we can escape somehow?
Yeah. Well, I think rather than bringing laziness, I think that we live in such an exciting time where we can actually shape how we use that technology. We are the shapers, and we are the creators of those first usages, and we have this unique opportunity actually to design those usages for us as it is created. So I think that the creative paradigm will change, and as it's already the case in digital arts, visual digital arts, right? I think the role of a composer will change as well. So instead of creating the content, the composer will use the AI to generate the content, but like keeping his or her idea of what it should look like. And also, instead of focusing on this tedious process of creation, which can also be can bring joy. I don't say that it's only labor. I mean, the laborious work that we need to do, etc. But we can actually do something else. Instead of focusing on production of the material, we can focus on the ways of how this material can interact with our user, or how our user can interact with that material. So that aspect of interactivity became very emergent and very like of the first degree of actuality. Actually, 10 years ago, at the most prestigious event in the digital art, Ars Electronica, there was a slogan: "Interact or die." And I mean, for the visual artists, it became pretty obvious that this is the direction to go. For music art, it's still, well, the examples of this interactive music are still very sparse and rather exception than the main trend. But I think with the AI, we will be able actually to personalize and render music interactive in many ways. And I think the composer will primarily be occupied of how to, to design those interactions and how music should respond to that, rather than focusing solely on creation of this material. So I think, yeah, the music of the future will be to a great extent created by AI, and the creators will use it as a tool, just as a tool to actually bring their ideas, their vision to life. And yeah, we'll be focused on this personalization of content, interaction with the user.
So if I understand correctly, not only will like the way of creating music change, the way of consuming music will change as well.
Yes.
With the AI, will create a new form of content that we would be able to.
Yeah. This personalization becomes very easy with the AI. And what is also good with the AI that we, using this latent space, we can manage to stay in some area of possibilities that user can explore. So each time the user will enter that experience, the experience will renew. But say in this, kind of idea that a composer wanted primarily to propose for exploration.
And through working with AI, how do we deal with the ethical dilemmas that we have right now, such as the rights, the copyrights to the material that is used to train the AIs, and so on?
Yeah. Well, this is still a gray area, really. So there are some regulations already with the AI Act in Europe that asks the models to show on what content they were trained on. But yes, of course, I mean, this clarity of the sources used is not yet a regulation international reglementation. So yeah, it's still a gray area, and different models manage that differently. So, for example, we have the models and we have the societies that kind of buy the material they train the models on, and thus they can allow the commercial use afterwards. Or if the material was scrapped from the internet, from the web, and potentially uses the material that is proprietary, well, those models, they say, well, we provide it for the research purposes. You cannot use it in your commercial projects. You cannot use it commercially, only on a Creative Commons license, which is for the YouTube, you know. So each model and each society, each company resolves it in a different way. But yes, these regulations on the ethical use of the database that were created with humans is yet to come. So, of course, the AI should not be in a position where it just produces the work created by somebody else, right? Because it raises the problems, plugin, etc. But yeah, those questions are yet to be answered. They are not yet completely defined.
Do you think that it would be the ethical would be to do it through transparency? So like we don't necessarily here, like in Europe, you said there was more transparency about where the data was coming from.
Yeah.
Do you think that's the way to go to explore it in a more ethical way, or in a way that wouldn't have the same dilemmas as we are seeing in some places with the AI?
Well, already, if the data that was used to train the model was proprietary, well, the artists need to get some recompensation for that, right?
Yeah.
So, or get some kind of recompensation if the model generates the examples similar to their style, right? But for that, we need another model that will, compute these similarity score. And we also need a distinctive kind of artist voice to that. So, for example, but I think that what is good also about that the artists and the managers and the business of music as in general will more focus on the individual style rather than a main trained, because it will be easier to track those very individual voices rather than main trained like a pop or some kind of generalized style that the model can generate. And then in the end, if the music of one artist resembles too much the music of another artist, where is the line? Where can you distribute them and say, well, it's rather this artist that should be paid and not that one, So I think the development of the AI and the elaboration of those practices will lead to actually better personalization and the requirement for the artists to be more artistic in their expression. I mean, now I think it's rather the opposite, right? We have a lot of ghost shading, ghost writing examples when the artist is asked to write in this style, right, or to perform music of this style. I mean, I think the development of AI opens to the artist this unique possibility to be unique. Unique possibility to be unique, but basically that, because AI is so good at generalizing things. So the humans need to become more unique in order to be distinguished from this AI-generated content.
That's fascinating. So I'm so glad I can go watch your conference about generative AI at the crossroads between art and virtual reality, where we talk about all of these things. To end it on a more light note, we're at MTL Connect. It's your second day here. Yeah. What do you like so far?
I like the ambience. I mean, it's so creative. I mean, the possibilities to meet at the same time the technology-based people and like programmers, the policymakers, and the artists that are presenting their work, and they show how they use the technology, how they use the AI, how they use the VR, or how they use those generative paradigms in the installations, for example. It's really fascinating. I mean, I really like this combination of those two together, and I think this is really the way to go. I think that in future the creativity actually lies in this combination of those two together. And I am very glad that this event allows this conversation between those two parts and allows to kind of sense what the artists want for the scientists in computational sciences, right? And for the and vice versa as well. So I think it's this unique format that brings those together is just perfect.
Well, it was a pleasure having you today. Thanks for being here.
Much.